This was the snooze fest, man, that unfortunately we have to cover because this was one of your sleepers. Was it this one of your sleepers, AJ? No, this wasn't.
No.
But anyway, Staropoli, it's a big name, right? You know what I'm saying? We both picked Dolidze to win this fight. He did it in very boring fashion. He talked about how control was the game plan going into this fight, man. But once again, we also saw Staropoli, man. This dude, even though he's game, you know what's funny, AJ? Really quickly, I just got to mention this. At one point, they were both clinched up and they were laughing at each other. And they were both like, having a good time. And then Staropoli was all like, man, like, what's up? Like, why won't you fight me? Like, fight me, bro. Like, you know what I mean? But like, they were like chuckling. Like, it was like funny, right? And Dolidze was just smiling like, no. We're not going to do that. I'm just going to hold you here, Listen, Staropoli, man, this dude's small for the division in comparison to Dolidze, who is a natural 205er, man. This was a win. Don't know what else to say about the fight other than this was a win, man. This was an absolute snooze fest. And Dolidze, this is his first win at 185 pounds. Second decision win in his career, man. So you can tell that he's starting to take a smart fight game plan approach. You know what I mean? Like, he's sacrificing the flashiness, all the craziness for... I just need to get a win, man. I just need to get a win on the board. He even said it in his post-fight presser. He was all like, I didn't want to... One of my main goals was to not get hit a lot because my family is in the USA for the first time and I want to go and take them around and show them Vegas and stuff. So, like, I don't know if his mind was on the fight, really, you know what I mean? Or if it was on other stuff. I don't know, man. What do you take from a fighter who says something like that? You know what I mean? When people are already kind of questioning Dolidze, when they said after his first loss, people were asking him, oh, how do you feel? He was like, bro, nothing has changed. Yeah, I lost, whatever, but it's all the same thing. That's not necessarily what you want to hear from somebody who's coming off of a big loss, but give me your take, AJ.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's exactly that. That's not what you want to hear. You want if you're a promoter and you're this dude's manager, you want, that is the furthest thing from what you want to hear. But it really just brings up, I think what this whole fight meant to me, Derek, what was the most interesting part was the fact of what Michael Bisping and then Dominic Cruz were talking about. They're watching the fight and talking about how entertainment versus career in sport. Should a fight be entertaining? That's really what comes down to it for me. Like, yeah, this was literally a giant snooze fest, basically having Dolidze use the side of the ring as the mat, and Staropoli had absolutely zero answer for it. And I think it was in the third round. I was with you, or I was watching too, and I noticed it was either the second or the third. But all that control time, they started laughing at each other. And then even at the end of the fight, Staropoli was pissed, saying like, blah, 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 you didn't fight me, blah, just on that energy. But like at the same point, where was that energy when this dude was basically humping you from behind for 15 minutes? So not really much on the whole fight. I don't really have much on that. It was basically, it is what it is on that one. But I wanted to pick your brain on this, Derek. What are your thoughts? Should a fighter put his career, his life, his health, his family, all that stuff in jeopardy to actually make an entertaining fight? I mean, my take is he'll get an entertaining fight. The more entertaining your fight, the more fights you're going to have.
Sure.
But
well,
how much are you going to risk that for entertaining fights and getting KO'd? I don't know.
No, I'm with you, man. And so I've had a lot of time to think about this because, like I've said, we've had our own personal type situations with watching certain fighters and being like, damn, man, this dude's a striker and this dude's just holding him down. But I had to think about it for a second. And I even said to myself, I was all like, okay, well, if you're a striker and like Staropoli, right? Crazy kicks, doing all of that good stuff. And somebody says, well, like, if that's what you're best at, I'm just going to hold you and I'm going to grab you and I'm not going to allow you to do what you're best at. And if there's nothing you can do, similar to Ariane Lipski, if there's just nothing you can do, well, who does that say more about? Does that say more about, the person holding you, or does that say more about the person who is being content being held, right? Because like you were saying, where's that energy at when you're being held, bro? Use that energy to escape and go and try to fight this dude instead of, simply talking about you won't fight me and this, that, or the other. At the end of the day, this is mixed martial arts, man, and a win is a win is a win. We're seeing Marvin Vettori get another title shot after absolutely boring wins, after, you know what I mean, to us, like me personally saying, like, there's no way this dude fights for a title after getting a win like that. And what happens? This dude's fighting for a title. So at the end of the day, man, entertainment is one thing, right? You might be a little bit higher on the promotions, you know what I mean, like good side if you are super entertaining. But we also know that this is a very unforgiving sport. And if you do get knocked out trying to be an entertainer, guess what, man? No one's going to feel sorry for you. You're going to get sent back to the queue, you know what I'm saying? The back of the list or whatever the case may be. And you're going to have to fight up and maybe fight a boring style to get back up to title contention or something of that nature. When it comes down to it, let's talk about this, AJ. Israel Adesanya, when he fought Yoel Romero, that was a snooze fest, right? But there was no heat taken for Israel Adesanya, really. It was like, oh, yeah, well, you were being smart. You had to win. You had to watch for the man's power. When Derek Lewis versus Francis Ngannou happened, right? Like, that win is still on Lewis's record. Like, Lewis won the fight. Francis Ngannou lost the fight. You know what I mean? That's just kind of how it goes, right? So it's interesting. It's something that I've thought about a lot, man. And with more time, I've really given it the notion of like, man, it's not necessarily your job to be entertaining. It's your job to grab a win. And if you do it in an entertaining way, you just get a little more fandom and you get your bills paid outside of just fighting because you get that stock raised. What do you think? You got anything before we move on?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's an argument that can go on forever.
Sure.
I give a lot of heat to Derek Brunson, but at the same time, his bills are being paid. So,
Yeah.
and even with the point you brought up about Montana De La Rosa, yeah, we knew that's her bread and butter. Like
Yeah.
you should know she's gonna take you down.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I'm kind of on this side a little bit. I'm more so going to the side of pay your bills, brother. Get it done. Get a win. Dub is a dub is a dub. Keep it moving to the next one. And if you can get a knockout, get it. If not, secure that bag, brother.
Yeah, absolutely, man. You know what I mean? What are you going to do? What are you going to do at the end of the day, right?